There are times when your friend absolutely impresses you to a shocking degree. The person that you called to get high and binge watch Twilight as they remote worked on a Saturday. The person that swears her new fad of wearing socks with her flip flops is not simply because she is dating a Dominican. And the person that let you sleep on a half inflated waterbed that got half inflated because when she got back from the club, one of her flying stilettos quietly pierced it. That person, your friend, at times can be the wisest human being to put a SpongeBob theme song as your personal ringtone. Anna was doing well and had joined Yali in her self help journey, Love Edition, albeit she was doing better than Yali, who, like me, had the tendency to overheal and more immerse ourselves in books and affirmations, but never enough to take action. Anna was back on the prowl and officially dating a Dominican financier slash ex co worker of Nina's, Javier, of which we were all scrolling through the apps to make sure he did not cheat, which was a tendency in our Caribbean Latino men. Cops my dad. Yet I digress. You know what I realized today? She said, passing me a bag of flaming hot Cheetos and opening up some caviar. It was her favorite bougie snack, and I must say, don't knock it till you try it. She plopped down on the sofa and continued, parent and partner, same lettering. What? I said, smiling. What genius had she prepared for me now over caviar? I was doing talk therapy and I just had this epiphany, Parent and partner sound similar or closely spelled together, and I felt it was symbolic. You're high, aren't you? Or am I? Because I oddly get it. I laughed while dipping. Think about it. We get partnered and then we get parented first and then we get partnered. But if we do not get parented properly, are we looking for a parent in our partner because we didn't experience the first half of life and now we're trying to experience the first half of life in the second half? Like the first part's parent, second part's partner. Okay, I get it. By the way, where is this talk therapist? You went to her. I didn't have that level of epiphany. You probably talked too much and left out the therapy. She laughed. That's deep. I like that. It makes sense. I said, misty eyed by the potential wisdom and self growth Anna was offering me. I love when people give me a new, higher perspective on my pain and my mistakes. It makes me feel less shame for not knowing better and actual excitement to learn. I feel like I love in service, like I love to give and take care of people, and I could be very maternal in my love. I could totally see my me as a mom to my exes, kind of being that type of partner. Yeah. I want that love back and I never get it. So do you want to be mothered or fathered in your relationship? She declared, once again chewing. What do you mean? What are you thinking your partners, your mother or your father? Which one did you not get? She stared. And in that moment, a new existential crisis emerged. Did I feel orphaned? All right, let's discuss, let's heal. So we were eating and we were watching Twilight. No, that what we when was that? Because we did binge watch Twilight. We were binge watching Rebelde, and love that novela. Anyway, long story short, she's doing talk therapy. She recommended me to a talk therapist, and I've gone to a few of the therapists my friends have recommended, and she was going off about how parent and partner they're spelled similarly and they're very alike, and how if you don't have a proper parent or a good parental experience, which is the first portion of your life, in the second portion, which is the natural where we all start looking for partners, you're going to technically or maybe subconsciously be looking for a parent because that's not what the experience you had, but now you're off to look for a partner. So it's kind of like this weird thing that you're doing that you don't realize where you think, okay, I didn't get a parent, time to get a partner, time to feel love. But parents teach you how to partner. And because they didn't show up for you, you're looking for a partner that shows up like a parent. Can I get the picture? And you're looking for your partner to teach you what your parents didn't. not simply in just what it means to partner with somebody, but what it means to be parent by someone. So you could be looking for a partner to be very maternal to you if you didn't have a mom, to have these maternal traits. You could be looking for a partner to be very paternal to you if you didn't have a father. And it was so interesting when she said that, like, which one do you feel is missing? Because to be honest, I could say both. I think in my partnerships, I said it like, I think one of the things that annoyed me in a lot of my relationships is that I did become very maternal. I did become, oh, you're doing great, sweetie. Oh, I love my son. Like, and I didn't even see that I was doing that because I do, I think I do love in a very maternal way. I think I do love very compassionate, very sweet, very I'll show up for you, very encouraging, very generous. And I like to take care of people. But I don't do what I don't want to be done for me. But I think that being so maternal and how I express love has entrapped me in terms of attracting and then choosing people that receive my love. And I'm like, oh my God, great, my love is being received, but don't give it back to me in the same ways. They're happy to be my big kid. They're happy to be my big boy, not my big boyfriend. And it's funny because when she said that, which one you think you're missing, I was like, I can't say that I'm not missing my mom or I'm not looking for my mom because I would love to have a relationship that was compassionate for me, that was taking care of me, that was encouraging me, that gave me the softness that we define as maternal. Because my mother wasn't soft. She was very harsh. She could be very mean, very strict. And I think she went harder on me because she was sick. Like this kid can't rebel because I literally don't have the energy. And, she also has her own childhood trauma. So, and I think I could be very paternal in my love, in that I could be very like, don't do that, but not in a, I think fathers, we look at them as they show up and they're fun and they're relieving and they kind of give you this balance. And when you need discipline, strictness, somehow they even supersede mommy. And I feel like there's something foundational. Like it's just a different type of foundational compared to a mom. And I think I've showed up in a paternal way as well, like just being there for someone and being really fun and showing up, but also kind of anchoring them and saying, hey, let's get some discipline here. Let's, don't cross those boundaries. Don't self sabotage. And I would like that with me. I would like somebody who kind of shapes me up. And I think that's what parents do. They shape you up. But my parents didn't shape me up. I think they shook me up. I think they handed to me so much pain. Pain that my dad handed me his pain on purpose. My mom handed me her pain by accident. And that's why I always distinguish them. I think my mom was a traumatized person who really thought because of all her pain, she could teach me how to heal and be healing. But just because of that very perspective, I'm going to teach you how to heal, I'm going to teach you how to survive, you're at a negative because life is supposed to be lived. And you live by enjoying, you live by having peace, you live by having love. Whereas my mother taught me via loss. The world tells you no, things go bad. Like it was almost like the hopeless trying to teach hope. Whereas my dad was just vindictive and malicious and always plotting and always scheming and always going through something. Like he just was a dump, like just dump, 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 dump. And he did it with purpose and he did it with enjoyment. Whereas my mother, I don't think she genuinely has ever seen that she's negative. Like, she will be the first person to tell you everything that could possibly go wrong while simultaneously telling you you should go for it. Well, my father is like, you should actually just die. Um, at least when it came to me. And it was this weird moment of kind of like, wow, this is so enlightening. But it also gave me this layer of grief because it's, when you're looking, energy is just the energy it is. It's why I always say, yes, my father was evil, but that's all he was. Like, there's nothing to judge. You don't have the right to judge people. You, beyond how they treat you, beyond how they try to harm you or heal you or love you, right? All those good stuff. So when she said that, it added this layer of grief because I already know that my father abused me, that yes, he was horrible. But with my mother, it's this trickiness because I know she really wanted to be a good mom, but just had too much pain. Whereas my father just didn't see me as a kid, didn't see me as his daughter, was just going through multiple women and things and drugs and money schemes. Like, he just had too much on his plate in terms of darkness and and revelry in it to consider the weight of what it means to be a father and a good one. And the flip side of that was my mother thought automatically she was good because she loved me. But you're a good parent because you teach your kid how to love themselves. And what I wanted in a partner in some ways was exactly that. I wanted a partner that taught me to love myself, that encouraged me to love myself, that even allowed me to love myself because I could genuinely say, starting with my dad and continuing throughout all my exes and even friendships and bosses, I have never experienced, or very rarely have I experienced, a love that wanted me to love myself, that wanted me to feel as good as the person I was making feel better. And I enter these relationships with such a level of like openness and grace and sweetness. I mean, I might as well be a teddy bear. And then they just rip me apart. And it's because I really, as sad as it is, I thought I had found, I think I said it before. I feel like true love is just, it's like your two big kids saying, hey, you want to play in the playground? It's such an inner child energy looking for your fellow kid to play with. And I feel like I'm a teddy bear and I'm just asking them, will you be my owner in some ways? And I know that sounds so, dark. What, do you want to be owned? But it's not in that way. It's this, I want to be soft with someone. I want someone to take care of me and protect my softness. And and I said it in a prior episode, you don't spell use without abuse. Or you don't spell abuse without use. And my father, my anger towards him is that he used me and he tried to convince me that all his hatefulness, all his putridness was love. And it's the only form of love I deserve. Just to maintain his reputation in front of people. But he was just barred. I mean, he was an addict. I mean, he was the first one to say, I was, oh, no, I am, no, I am an alcoholic. Like, he was an apparent mess that was also super charming. And I think we give a lot of grace to charming personalities because there's also something really sad about someone that can attract so many people and yet be so unattractive as themselves or with themselves. There's something really tragic about that. There's something, it's the devil complex. There's something really tragic about being what was deemed the first being of light, the one most loved by God, and yet an F up, a screw up. How could you have the most and be like, me, whatever, snooze? And for people that just can't get that light or can't get that imagery, right? Like, I feel like sometimes I am a way better, always have been a way better human being than my father. But to put us both in a room, I don't know if you would necessarily feel that because he was so charismatic. I mean, he had people who knew his crimes, or at least some of them, right? Could list them and be like, I guess people get lost. Whereas, at best, I get lost to the bathroom, but I've had people be like, I don't know, something's off about her. And when bringing it back to the parent partner dilemma, I feel like I go in because of that energy of like just really trying to prove I'm a good person and I'm willing to forgive all your flaws and all your bad stuff because my father, trust me, once you forgave that guy, you forgave everybody, right? He lowered the bar. And the problem is, first of all, why am I bringing that energy into the dynamic? I'm kind of acting like my mom. Like, it doesn't, I'm here to live, not here to survive. Second of all, I can't ask to be held softly, especially if I don't hold softness for myself, because I'm really approaching people as if, like, almost like I need breath. Like, will you help me breathe? Will you be the first person in my life to actually hold me and not tell me to hold them? And when I ask for a back, say that they have no arms? Could you do that for me? Could you let me be a teddy bear? And it's really, really sad because I think one of the most difficult, I have told my mother, I raised myself. I really did. And she's shocked. And the first thing she'll say is that she paid for things. But emotionally and mentally, especially because she was so. I read this quote, you know, help a man at his lowest and he will humiliate you at his peak. And I was like, well, put that phrase in the grave of my mother and father's relationship, because my mother was just always trying to handle someone else's mess except her own, or except me, right? Just always showing up for a friend, showing up for my dad, showing up for her family, and yet feeling like nobody showed up for her. And what always has been a wedge in our relationship is that because my mother sees me as her, she will say I've never showed up when I have literally, I can tell you, been the only one in my mother's corner. My entire life, I was the only person in my mother's corner. Even, not even my grandmother was on my mother's side. And she will look me in the eyes and say, you don't show up for me, or you haven't always been there for me, or I've been alone. And it hurts because I was, as a child, my mother's defender, my mother's protector, my mother's forgiver. I might as well have been a priest. And that's what a parent is supposed to do for their child, not their child do for their parent. So I do approach love with this concept of, will you be the one to protect me? Because I've had to protect a lot of people, even the ones that were supposed to protect me, and they didn't. Are you actually going to do that? But the point is, why is anyone wounding? Why is there a wound even? Why is that even up for discussion? Protection. Are you not coming in safe? Ugh. Damn. Check out daddyrecovery.com, check out deangelouseitall.com, and check out Havdeen on all music platforms.